Two Wealthy Rivals by Sulkhan-Saba Orbeliani. There was a very rich man, and there was another man the fame of whose wondrous wealth was noised abroad. The latter said, I know not the number of my treasures. Kings themselves have not as much as I. Surely that other man's wealth cannot exceed mine. I will go and see what treasures he has. So he went and asked to see his treasure house. The other man took his visitor and showed him countless barns full of wheat and barley, and said to him merrily, God of his mercy has given me all this. The rich man abused him and the person who had exaggerated his wealth, and said to him, I have as many pearls as you have grains of calm, but I do not consider that to be wealth. And he departed. Next year there was so great a famine that bread was nowhere to be had. All were starving. The rich man sent a servant with gifts of pearls to the man rich in grain, and wished to buy bread from him, but he received no answer. Then he loaded camels with a multitude of precious things, and sent them to him, for he was driven by necessity. The man of many barns sent back the jewels, with the message, Think not that I shall sell you bread for gems, but if you will send me your wife, you may have as much as you will. The rich man was very angry and said, If I give away my wife, what shall I say to my friends, or for whom shall I buy bread? If I do not, he will give me no bread, and my children will die. There was no other way out of it, so he put his wife on horseback and sent her to him. The man who was rich in corn saw the woman coming, and said to her, You are as my mother. Now that I have seen how your husband, who so loftily abused me, has become meek, take as much as you wish and go home again. He gave her much bread and let her go. Then the rich man sent for his wife, and she told him all that had passed between him and the man of many barns. When they had eaten their fill, the rich man said to her, I will never consent to part with my treasures, even though my children die of hunger. Then the woman said, You fool, how can you compare what is perishable with what is imperishable? We have received our lives from God, and our children also. You have riches and do not use them. You are hoarding up treasure for yourself, saying, Who will share my wealth? Yet when you have need of something to save your life, there is none to help you. Now at least, let us divide up our goods, and we will each of us keep what we can carry on a single camel. He assented to this proposal. So they divided their goods. And the rich man said, Lo, I have need of nothing. Henceforth I will be the first to give away all that I possess. From that time forth, he who had been so miserly became liberal and bountiful, giving alms to the poor and needy, and the widow and the orphan. And he who had been haughty and overbearing became humble and lowly.